Eikhoi solley si kanana haigey. Eikhoi solley si kanana haigey. Who says we are weak? We are always united and we stand firm despite the combined assault of the cookie aggressors and the covert and overt superior forces who are behind them and the big industry of lies that has been operating at the global level. We are not weak. We are able to withstand 4 months of silences. Friends, I'm going to represent Delhi Meitei Coordinating Committee for more comprehensive theoretical arguments, our political stand and the demands. These are clearly laid out in our press statements and the memorandums. You can have a copy of that. For now, I would like to convey few messages that have been addressed to the industry of lies, to the Western Christian world, India's left and liberal forces, to the Indian army, to the cookies, to the government of India, and of course to my compatriots, peace-loving Meitei people who stand firm to defend the idea of Manipur, the prospect of collective coexistence, peaceful and harmonious and collective growth of all the communities living together. As I pointed out, there is a simultaneity of ethnic cleansing and propaganda. Who started ethnic cleansing? Who started? We all know, but the industry of lies do not want to admit this. The industry of lies wanted to aggravate the situation by playing partisan role, siding with sectarian forces funded by the money raised from narco-terrorism. The industry of lies tries to play with trump-up victimhood card in favor of the enemy of peace, the narco-terrorist elements. What did they do in the beginning? They say it was an attack of the tribal by the non-tribal. They tried to show it was an attack by the non-tribal Meiteis to the entire tribal people, which has proven wrong, and they have now changed their own statement. Big shame. They said it's a majority attacking minority. But if you see the data, it's completely true, completely wrong. How? It was an attack on the minority Meiteis living in the cookie-dominated hill district of Churachandpur, Tengnoupal, and Kangpokpi district. It was a well-planned, coordinated attack on the minorities, Meiteis living there. When the Meiteis retaliated, it was because they have been aggressed with armed aggression. It doesn't end there. These so-called minorities with sophisticated arms continue to carry out sporadic armed aggressions on the vulnerable Meiteis in the Meitei-dominated valley districts. If they stop this, there will be peace. They continue this, so we retaliate. What do? We surrender to them, we flee, we die, or we respond. Any sensible and responsible citizens will, of course, defend in retaliations, to defend their homeland, to defend their idea of collective coexistence. So it was an attack, I would say, by the minority cookie on the majority Meiteis, both in the cookie-dominated areas and consistent attack in the vulnerable Meitei villages. Imagine a population less than 13 persons attacking a population more than 45 persons and grossly disturbing the peace and the smooth functioning of the rest of the 87% of the population. Why are they so confident? Why are they so confident? They are overconfident because they live in a fanciful dream of creating an exclusive territorial area where the Zalangam would be put on. They are confident because there are overt and overt powerful forces backing them, reportedly backing them with sophisticated arms and strategic and tactical supports in all ways. Our Myra Paibi imams have explained from ground report how certain miscreants amongst the central security forces are playing partisan roles to aggravate the situations by siding with the narco-terrorist elements and the Kuki armed aggressors. And then they want to show the entire Meiteis as, like Hindus attacking Christians, which is again proven wrong. If you see the data, the Kukri aggressors did not spare Meitei Christians living in the Kuki-dominated areas. I will show you the data later on to show that it was not a religious conflict, but certain symbols of religious symbols and institutions were attacked because of certain crop of situations that has been taking up over time, taking religious sentiments and religious dimensions because of the manner how the aggressors have been indulging with all these symbolisms and belief and faith. I'll show you. Then they again say that Meitei is a rapist. No, Meiteis are not rapists. We don't support rapists. We condemn and we punish rapists. You see, those two women who were being stripped naked, very unfortunate incident. We condemn those miscreants who indulge that. But then, how do they live to tell the stories if they were not saved by the Meiteis and the Myra Paibis? Are we rapists? No! We saved them from the hands of the miscreants. These two women have denied that they are being raped. But these aggressors and the industries of lies repeatedly try to say that these women are being raped, these women are being raped. What is this sexist and the body politics? It's an ugly symptom and a desperate effort by the industry of lies to blame the entire Meitei as rapists. No, we are not. We do not ask our women to carry 10 condoms in protest. We are not like them. They say Meitei media is biased. They tell me, do you allow Meitei media personnel to visit the Kuki-dominated areas? They are forbidden. They are hiding information. How do they go there? At one point of time, the Indian Army has invited certain media personnel to cover the incident. But they were being bulldozed. They were being bullied. They were almost being killed. Then, how do we report? We are not in the habit of fabricating information and constructing presumptive narratives. Our media are not biased. They are not allowed to cover the issues happening in the Kuki-dominated areas. So don't call them as biased. We are not like the Editors Guild of India, funded by the Indian Army, or maybe from crowdfunding, who would indulge in a partisan politics of misrepresentations and misreporting. We are not Editors Guild of India or any other yellow journalist who blindly sided with the aggressors. No, our media is not biased. Prove it. We can prove it. Allow our media to visit the Kuki-dominated areas. We will prove that how neutral our media personnel are. And then they try to show the Myra Paibi as villains, the defender of peace, the defender of communal harmony, the defender of justice have been targeted. Why? Because Myra Paibi has a long historical tradition as legacy as a champion of human rights. The enemy of peace, the miscreants among the establishment who want to collude with the sectarians and nefarious forces do not want Myra Paibi to continue the exposures. They do not want Myra Paibi to defend their people. They want the people to follow their command, do whatever they want. They want to run away scot-free. And when Myra Paibi raises, they call them violent. But you should know, it is the system that forced the Myra Paibis to come out in defense of their society. It is the system that forced our youth to find and procure arms in any means, from any sources, to defend themselves. Why should the Myra Paibis come up on the street and fight for justice if 60,000 paramilitary forces deployed in Manipur are doing their work sincerely? Why compel Maira Paibi for volunteers to spend sleepless nights defending against this partition war? Our Maira Paibis are not villains. They are the heroines. And they will continue to keep the legacy of Maira Paibi. They will continue to be our heroines. Now let me tell you, to the industry of lies, the numbers of people killed in the last 4 months, starting from 3rd March up to 16th September. By reading this data, you will know the extent of at least the semblance of destructions and havoc, death has been done by the enemy of peace. There are altogether 175 people killed. Meitei 65, Kuki 96, security personnel 3, 1 Nepali, 1 Marine, unidentified 9. There are 32 missing people, mostly Meiteis. When there is killing in the valley, those who lost lives are stored in the morgue. But in the hill areas, they are buried. They are inhuman. They are barbaric. They do not allow even the last rites of the dead to be performed. This is uncivilized, barbaric aggression. In total, together there are 1,108 injuries. Meiteis 640, Kuki 353, Nepali 5, Pangal, that is Meitei Muslims 14, Indian security personnel 23, Manipur police 73. In total destructions of houses, there are complete destructions of 4,786, Meitei houses 2,122, Kuki houses 2,664. Altogether, 256 religious structures have been destroyed. That includes 132 temples, some of which were destroyed before the spark of the 3rd May incident. Altogether, 254 churches destroyed belonging to both Meiteis and Kukis. And let me tell you, in altogether, 2,122 sacred religious places of the Meiteis associated with their homes have been completely destroyed. Some of these places where the Meiteis have settled have been completely razed to the ground without any visible remnants of the existence of the village. It's a complete destruction. Altogether, displaced persons, Meiteis, 23,853 sheltering in relief camps, Kuki 35,572 inmates in relief camps. You know, they say police are not doing their job, but the data speaks something totally different. So far, if you make a comparison of the persons arrested and detained, the number is very high among the Meiteis in the valley districts. In the valley districts, so far, 295 persons have been arrested by the police. Compared to this, only 28 Kukis have been arrested. Altogether, 38,945 Meiteis have been detained on preventive measures. Only 25 Kukis have been detained. So where is the justice? The onus or the burden of maintaining law and order has been enforced. The law are enforced for maintaining order only in the valley district. What about the hills? So the blame and the charges against Manipur police's backing Meiteis seems quite irrelevant, other than Manipur police retaliating attack by the Kukri aggressors, the levels of obstructions to protests and demonstrations, and the number of arrests and detentions of Meiteis is too high compared to the Kukis. Having said this, while dismantling the industry of lies, I have clear-cut message to the Western Christian world, and that includes even the United Nations, who are relying too much on the available fabricated information. I want to say that do not try to show the ongoing conflict as a religious war between Hindus and Christians. Do not try to connive with cross-border marauders to wage a crusade in Manipur. the idea of crusade will be highly impracticable in imposing laws to the Western Christian world. Don't provoke the entire Hindus to rise up against cross-border Christian cookies. If you keep on insisting it as a religious war, the day will be very soon when, blindly or consciously or unconsciously, the entire Hindus in India will rise up against cross-border Christian cookies. This will cause a lot. We don't want this to be happening. We don't want to enforce any religious colorings on this issue. The West needs India's support to counter China and for a long-lasting footing on Myanmar. Don't provoke too much on India. India is a sovereign country. Stop intervening into petty communal disturbances created by cross-border narco-terrorists. These are the clear messages that I want to convey to the Christian world. Don't blindly jump into this conflict with a preconceived, diabolic, and misinformed agenda. It will cause a lot for the Christian world. To the Indian left and the liberal forces who are now no longer with us, I want to say to them that Meiteis cannot be the sole target of your silly political vendetta against BJP and hatred for Hindutva forces. We can't be a sacrificing lamb for your hatred. Your intentions and your approach only exposes your deception, cheap propaganda, and poverty of scientific approach to understand the context, nature, and contents of the ongoing problems. Poor people like you can never grow. We will never trust you unless you come up with an unbiased solution to downgrade Indian left and the liberal forces. To the Indian Army, I want to say, your role is restricted to defending India from external aggressions and counter-insurgency in aid of civil administration, as in the case of Manipur. But your letter to the EGI, dated 12 July 2023, shows that your information warfare takes a partisan stand in extra-military affairs. But you are not expected to play any role in reactionary partisan insurrections and domestic communal politics. To defend your serenity and to defend your honor, I think it is high time that you retreat from the wrong step that you have taken. To the cookie, I would like to say that you can't silence a historically evolved, thousands-year-old civilization so easily. Don't ever think of it again if you by mistake have committed this blunder. The power backing you, the covert and overt forces behind you will never protect you for eternally. Your leaders are corrupt. They mislead you to cover up their loot and plunder. They play politics on your dead bodies and injuries for their personal gain. So retreat from the unjust disturbances. Your brighter future lies in peaceful submission to the idea of a collective Manipur. If there is developmental disparity, it should be fought collectively. If there is poverty and lack of social equity, it has to be collectively fought. We have to collectively race against systematic errors committed by the system. But you can't blame the entire community and start targeting. This is a very foolish idea. If you want to be a citizen of Manipur, you have to dream for collective existence. You have to be part of the fight against illegal infiltrations and migrants. You have to fight collectively against the pandemic of drugs and poppy farming. You have to fight against deforestation and encroachment. If you don't want these things, I think situation will never calm down, and you better find a place where an anarchical ambitions that you have may be established, not within the boundary of Manipur. But if you are to be outside the boundary of Manipur as a responsible citizen, then you have to believe in this idea of collective coexistence where everybody will be growing. Otherwise, it will have a devastating impact on you or any other sectarian forces. To the government of India, I would like to say that I am convinced that you are on both sides playing some tricks. Some are happy, but many from both sides are angry with you. This is not a good symbol. But let me tell you, you cannot neglect the role of the Meitei in empire building, both during British time and afterwards. Even today, for your great push towards expanding Eikhoi policy in Southeast Asian countries, you need the support of Meiteis as a responsible citizen. You cannot disturb. As long as you disturb peace, your visions of Eikhoi policy will go into dustbin. We are there to support you. Try to win the support of the Meiteis, the most respectable community in Northeast or in the entire country, who has contributed a lot. You must win them. Don't force Meitei youth to take up arms and rise a new level of insurgency, which will cost you too much. On the idea of Manipur, let me speak in Manipuri. May ising nung sit atia malem taibang mapuna sembi basi yaw na miyoy bahing mulamdi. Miyoy ba na hinga ba matamda Eikhoi Meitei hai basi buwa ba matamda Eikhoi masin bisunsin na ba amasu hai basing sige mapuoy zeraga Eikhoi kunay mo na lisan sit na buwari da hingak pani laipak semak pani ngam semani. May ising nung sit atia malem yaw na Eikhoi hing mga moy masige mapuoy Eikhoi no oy gada bani Eikhoi the idea of Manipur kadi kunda minari ba puruk pati kunna masige mapuoy binase haidun. Masi Eikhoi dagi mullaga pukrani Eikhoi di sang laga puwari bu thawai na inthuragani hai bagi sangchilakpa forces khuding ma thengai na ba hai basidi Eikhoi di hingmagi ngasigi amasung ting miro singi tangai phadaban kanana kari thodang lowani hai base Eikhoi khudimak sabjana khangi Eikhoi hanri laikhidrabai gi ipana 1994 da sichi amakak iramme aingonda ayakna hauri ba yausing da yaukrani hai badagi irammani Laipak kidamakta thogang lopam thokase makhal yame makhal amada puning sang na thawai sang na lo matang matam na oirak labadi sadhu ni haidana leiri ba isu mala khaw ga lundum hakani hairam ngasidi madugi matam du yore Meitei singda pokpagi mahi yanbagi opportunity makak pire Nalai pak nuk sibagi utbagi tangkam dong asidi ore haidana mioi bagi kunsida lan hai base toy na lak panate madugi lan dong asidi koi na lae sige lan sida ke koi mai deng na sebang pokti ai koi pini mak thodang lo pom koi pun ba ya da basing mana ngambal level da tobio kong safety haina ganu antagonistic oina ganu Pauham hai ngoi na sung koga wai khu dawra man amba bu sing thong na ganu kun ma yadra basu fa lambida tongan na lamjen saksi irai pa kini hai na khallaga madu khaptane kai irai pa se kan bangam mani hai ba wapam se thamse ni aduga amarom dana lan hai ba se ngai ba se irai pa ta leiri ba ahi nung chin nung fe ba tak ta khulai bairaga amasung lambi sok ta thogu sing ngai ba Eikhoi Delhi da leiri ba diaspora sing di mesaya ni shanti ki amasung industry of lies hai base aran bani Eikhoi na tawi ba lan che chumba lan ni hai base malem da utna ba hona bani masi ta karam ba thogang lo da ge hai ba do ko thungsina si khanasi Eikhoi ningan ba ya de Eikhoi kudi mak lo thogang lo do bani ngai ka ba hi bani kap kani law ba hi bana law bani lai ba hi bana hai gani art hai bana hai gani pochai puthok pa puchung puthok pa khuding mak na hogani maram di lan mi khuchu khulai madu ku support tauba economic growth aduga madu khuding mak tu encouragement pi bang amba taishin binanawa art kilam da waitar ga so atai sibam da waitar ga so masi khuding mak se matam khuding mak ta mathok kai Eikhoi puning handre Eikhoi tawthok saningai ni sai thamari hena akan nakan forces sing na ko ki aggressor singi mission da lep ga sathar plan si da thamari ningan na bale ta thengra bal Eikhoi ki kunai he se ason ba kunai nate masi ekna basi maithira bani Eikhoi kanana marup no masak khang batai Eikhoi thengai na batai Eikhoi thauna and batai 미기 마루는 깝도 버드디 오래 시엘레베디 시라가니 시엘레베디 시베디 파테 하이드나 어머나 그래서 바시나 헤르모 하이도 모두 에코이 닉싱시 에코이 라텀 그야 탱나라가 라크라바니 랑기레 바프니 마담 카레 산티 오이네 레레 하이베기 포타루다 에코이나 타우사루다 버데기 예그나가 싱나 콩석 구동사를 넣으러가 에코이들 랑타레보다 악한 락 오이나 농더버기 와니 에코이 한데 에코이 할로이 Eikhoi lep ki gani rei pap ki mai sing nung si tatia malem ki maku Eikhoi no wei malem dai Eikhoi hingi Eikhoi thuai be aroi hebe se Eikhoi ki honau ne lep ki gani han ma lei roi ima lei pap na yai fare mera pai bina yai fare down with aggressions external aggressions down with covert and overt forces and the industry of lies down with industry of lies